Hello everyone, it is princess_mini4 and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to know when I post. So, first off, I'm out of breath because I walked across the street and I wanted to get this video done while I'm home alone. So, I just want to read to you this thing that I wrote, and yeah. So on Friday, March 17, 2023, was the day I lost the only two people I thought I had in this world. I already did a video about how my mom's side of the family doesn't act like I exist. They don't contact me or anything. I have one cousin who is the daughter of the aunt who raised me. She contacts me somewhat, but it's not like it could or should be. I still find myself having to reach out first, and sometimes I truly think she believes I only go over to her house to visit her 7 and 1-year-old child, and not her. Now that I've lost, so on my dad's side of the family, it's a smaller family, as in my great-grandmother only had 4 children, and y'all know on my mom's side, she had 14 children. Now that I've lost both my great-grandparents, 2 great-uncles, and my father, all that really leaves me with is my grandmother, who I live with, y'all already know that, and her son, which is my uncle, and a cousin and her son. All my life, me and my grandmother always bumped heads. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe our horoscope signs are not compatible, or maybe our personalities aren't compatible either. But I remember the majority of my childhood, these stupid little petty arguments, which always leads to the silent treatment from my grandmother. I spent a lot of my childhood independently playing. I played a lot on my own with my Barbie dolls, and now I still play independently. I play the Sims game, which is a game you play by yourself. I am in no way a clingy or a people person. I'm more like my father, and I love to be alone, and it's actually best for my mental health. Being around a lot of people stresses me out, it overstimulates me, and it drains my social battery. Besides that, I as a person have boundaries like everybody in the world does. So my uncle, besides that, I as a person have boundaries. I expect nothing more than for people to just respect me and my boundaries. So my uncle is a very touchy, lovey kind of person. And there is nothing wrong with that. Everyone has their own love language and shows or expresses their love in a different way. My love language is buying you gifts or talking with you or just spending time with you. My love language is in no way physical intimacy or touch. That's not me. I've never been a hugger, ever. Like as a kid, I did not like getting hugs. That's just not me. That's not who I am. So all my life, when my uncle would see me, he would give me 1,000 kisses on my cheeks. All my life, kiss, 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 kiss. That's just who he is. I may have liked it as a young child, but I vividly remember disliking it more and more as I grew older. Kids are allowed to dislike things even if it's from their family. I've always expressed how I don't want to be kissed that many times. As I kept growing older, I kept expressing my feelings. Now I'm 21 years old. My dad and uncle would also pinch my cheeks a lot. I had chubby cheeks as a kid, so it makes sense. But once I went through puberty and I started noticing my face breaking out a lot, I asked both of them politely to stop or at least reduce the pinching or touching of my face. My dad stopped doing it as much. Yes, he still did it, but at least he heard what I had to say and he reduced the amount. Now for my uncle, he never stopped nor reduced it. It took me until I complained on a YouTube video, which was my recap of 2022 New Year's resolutions and my vision board video, when I mentioned how I told him no and he still did it, for him to finally stop. But it shouldn't be that way. If someone asks you not to do something, you should respect them as a person and just stop. Now for the kissing, I've complained to therapists about this issue. As of today, he doesn't do it that much. But imagine being a young woman and having your uncle, who is a grown man and 30 plus years older than you, kissing your cheeks 50 plus times, plus sucking on your cheeks, I know, and holding the other side of your face And I wrote this in quotation marks, so I won't pull away, because that's what he said to me. I said, why do you have to hold my face? He said, so I won't pull away. Literally. I remember almost crying after TwitchCon when we got back home, because this is what he was doing to me, despite me saying no several times, and my grandmother sat there on that couch and watched the entire thing happen. Boundaries. I have boundaries. Now, why she got mad or upset with me yesterday? Oh yeah, my uncle has this little thing he does and has been doing for years. He'll come over and he'll walk into my room and move or hide things. It was funny maybe the first 20 times, but it eventually gets annoying. I remember one weekend after doing my spring or fall cleaning, he still came over and did it. And this time, while he was in the process of doing it, I asked him not to. And even this time, my grandmother said, Tony, can you not move stuff in her room? She just sat there and cleaned up. And he still did it anyway. Still did it anyway. Two people asked him, or one person told him, one person asked him not to, and he still did it. So I came home yesterday, and I asked my grandmother, I came home Friday. And I asked my grandmother if my uncle was coming over so I could close my door and put the do not disturb on my door. Lately, when he comes over, I've been on edge. For one thing, I don't like being undressed around men. My father never saw me naked once I grew up and went through puberty. And at one point, he had told my grandmother, look, she's starting to develop. I'm not going to stop washing her. I'm going to stop bathing her. So once that happened, I never was around my dad with no clothes on. I always had a shirt on and pants. I didn't even walk around just like my boy underwear. I always had pants on too. So sometimes he'll come over when I'm in the shower and I get annoyed. No, I'm not saying he can't come home. This is his home first. This isn't my home. Well, it was not my home growing up. This was his home. He's been here since he was a kid. This is his home. I'm not saying he can't come home. I am a very big person of routine and structure. And if you know me, you know that. So I like to take my shower, then I like to be able to come out into the living room with no clothes on and get lotioned up and get dressed in the living room because it's hot in the bathroom and the living room is wide open and I have a fan that I can put on me. But when a man is present, I obviously can't do that. I am also the same person who gets irritated when my routine or structure is disturbed. That I can't help about myself. That's just who I am. And like I said, if you know me, you know that. If I make a plan to go to the movies on Friday and you tell me Friday morning we're not going, I'm irritated. I'm irritated. I am a person of routine and structure. It's just what works for me. I can't change who I am. That's who God made me. I just had 3 surgeries in January, and I had breakdown on my wounds in my thigh apexes. So I was advised to sit around and not wear any underwear so everything can heal up. My surgeon told me this. So yes, quite naturally, I would ask my grandmother when or if he's coming over so I can do what I have to do before having to sit in this chair from the time he comes here to the time he leaves because I'm not wearing underwear. I'm a grown woman. I don't do that. Oh, that's family, so it's okay. Nope, not happening for me. I'm not like that. Some people don't care about walking around their family with no clothes on. That's not me. If I didn't walk around naked around my own father, I wouldn't walk around my uncle. My own mother never saw me naked once I started developing and got older because she made me feel uncomfortable when one time she was begging to see me naked. Maybe that's why I don't do that no more. Because like I used to not care. I would walk around. Even my uncle, I walk around with a bra on and stuff. But I don't do that no more. Maybe it's because of my mom. Because she was begging. Take your shirt off. Let me see. Take your underwear off. Nah. So now I just don't. Like I do it with my grandmother and that's it. But like nobody else sees me without clothes on. Even if you're a girl. I wouldn't get dressed around my cousin like naked. No, that's weird. To me. That's a boundary that will never be crossed until I'm ready for it to be crossed. It's my own body. So yes, maybe I have been asking when or if he's coming over or getting irritated sometimes. But it all boils down to who I am as a person. Another thing my uncle has done is call me several times in one day. I've never liked to talk on the phone, and my grandmother often tells me this as well. She always tells me that I was younger. I wouldn't want to come to the phone when she would call when I was living home. I've never liked talking on the phone. You can't change me. I would get annoyed when my own aunt who raised me or my mom would call me, and sometimes my dad. This is not new whatsoever. I would always complain about my dad calling me, my uncle calling me, my aunt calling me, my mom calling me, my grandmom calling me. Nobody is different in that aspect. When I was with my ex in high school, I told her straight up, look, I don't like talking on the phone. And she loved it though. So guess what we did? We compromised. That's what you should do in every relationship. So considering I'm a person who dislikes talking on the phone, wouldn't you think you would try to come up with a solution to fix this? Like simply calling once a day or a few times a week instead of 3 to 4 times in one day. And expecting more, because there has been several instances where he has called me 3 times and said, hey, call me later. You just called me 3 times today. Like, so you can't keep crossing people's boundaries. Anyway, all these things I talked about is just who I am as a person. I've never changed and never will change. I've always been like this and I will always be like this. I'm 21 years old. All I did on Friday was express my feelings, which was obviously a mistake. After years and years of my boundaries being disrespected by my own family. No, it's not just my uncle. No, I don't dislike my uncle. I dislike when my voice isn't heard, and when I'm not treated fairly, and when I ask politely over and over and over again for something just to be ignored. So Friday, my grandmother got mad and blew up, and we had an argument with her stating, you've been anti-uncle for a few weeks, and you always been wondering who's calling, always wondering when he's coming over, always complaining about him, etc. She went on and on and on. Which, other than the anti-uncle thing, everything else is correct. Because I know for a fact that my boundaries will be crossed. And this is the same for anyone who repeatedly does this in my life. Why do you think I'm single? Why do you think I broke up with my ex? Because I've told her several times I don't like being touched, I don't like being hugged, and she kept doing it. I'm not going to be with somebody like that. I'm sorry. It just so happened that she was the only person I could complain or express my feelings to because I live with her, which was stupid of me, knowing how she's so overprotective of my uncle and defends him to no end. Then she claims I used him to go to TwitchCon. Blah, blah, blah. So I went and stayed in my room, and she came back there several times to continue this argument, which after 21 years in this family, whatever she says is golden. So if she says I dislike my uncle, I dislike my uncle. It's written in the Bible. So honestly, I'm over the arguments and always being the bad guy. Everyone on my Instagram page and DMs has been telling me over the years, several years, 2, 3, 4 years, to just move out and get away from all of this. And I have proof. If people want to say, oh, that's not true, I got proof on my phone. Because yes, I complained on there because I've always felt alone, and I would always have to deal with insistence like this when I expressed my feelings to someone I thought cared. So I would rant on my Instagram, and luckily these people gave me advice because I had nobody else. So I slept on the couch that night because, quite frankly, after she kept coming back and hollering at me and throwing stuff in my face like how, oh, you have no one on your mom's side of the family that cares about you. You don't have any other uncles that want to spend time with you. You always want to go over to this one cousin's house and she don't even want to reach out to you. Okay. Accusing me of using my uncle and using him to get stuff and using him to go on trips and using him to have me buy him, like having him buy me stuff. And treating him horribly and being rude to her because I talk back, which in reality, you're not gonna come back here and disrespect me, expect me to just sit here and take it. No, that's not happening no more. It happened for 20 years or 21 years. It's not happening no more. I wouldn't dare sleep in the same bed with her because, first of all, why would you even want me to sleep in the same bed with you after you sat there and you're mad at me, right? Okay. So as usual, as I'm laying here getting ready to go sleep on the couch, she storms out to the living room and tells me how I made a mistake by choosing to sleep on the couch and that I'll never be able to sleep in her bed again. So that day, Friday, I truly considered packing a little bag containing the most important things I own and need and leaving and never looking back. I've also considered ending my life because I don't see any escape and I have been feeling trapped for years. If my own family doesn't see or care about my issues about having boundaries and expecting them to be respected, then why should I be here? Also, I'm tired of having to fight between both my uncle and my grandmother. I feel like all the arguments always boil down to that. They have a great relationship and a great bond, and I'm happy for them. But I'm tired of having to go against them like I'm in a boxing ring. I've kept all this inside for a good 15 years, and it was going to come out some way or somehow anyway. I never said I was treated badly, nor did I say I disliked any individual. All I said was I want to be heard and respected, and now I'm getting threatened and getting text messages like, make a list so I can tell your uncle what he shouldn't do to you. Seriously? My grandmother is purposely missing the point of this whole situation. I'm just tired of begging and begging for things to stop that I don't like or don't want done to me or about me, and I'm the bad guy. I don't know what I'm going to do moving forward, but I don't think there is any coming back from this one. The way my grandmother acts about anything with my uncle is almost a death sentence. The sad part is I have a good amount of money, but I have no income, so I can't move out like everyone is telling me or advising me to do. I thought about leaving and spending a few weeks to get away for a break, but nothing will ever change. It's been 21 years, and my father told me this is how it was for them growing up. So therefore, that's just who she is as a person. You can't change people. Yes, I may have been spoiled and got everything I wanted as a child, and sometimes now, but that's nothing compared to being able to talk freely about anything and everything to your family and not having to hide stuff. God, there are so many things that they don't know about me because I've had to hide it for years and they'll never know. Feeling like your feelings are valid and being respected. Not having to walk on eggshells in order to prevent another argument. Instead of listening to me, I'm always talked over. Like literally, when we're arguing, she just constantly talks over me. So how are we even going to argue if it's just you talking? Always being talked over and being told why I'm this or why I'm that. I never would have thought something as small as asking for respect from the two people I thought truly loved and cared about me would ruin our relationships. But I believe everything happens for a reason. God has a plan for everyone. I spend the majority of my time crying in my room or in the bathroom so she doesn't see, ranting on my phone or ranting on social media. It hurts worse when it comes from family, the only family I ever had. So I considered leaving, but knowing how my grandmother is, if I leave, I'll never be able to return, at least because of this incident. I'm not sure what to really do. I don't think things will ever be the same. Since my dad died, a lot in my life has changed. I would complain and cry to my dad about the issues with me and my grandmother when I was younger, and he would always say, oh, it's because we are always in the same house together, and arguments happen like this because we are always together. Maybe that's the truth of it all, but now that I discovered I have absolutely no one in my life or in my circle, I need to think and make some decisions about my future, which I forgot I even existed years ago due to depression and not being able to imagine a future for myself. That's deep. Maybe it's best to leave and get a restart in life and work on myself. I never thought I'd want to leave my family, but sometimes it's what's best for you. It's what's best for you mentally, emotionally, and physically. I love both my grandmother and my uncle to death. Always have, always will. But sometimes it is only so much you can take before you consider driving off that bridge. So, yeah, that's pretty much the end of this. This is what happened on Friday, March 17, 2023. All I did was ask if my uncle was coming over so I can close my room because I am tired of stuff being moved in my room after asking for years for him to please stop. Like I said, I have boundaries just like everyone else does, and sometimes you just get sick and tired of people ignoring or disrespecting those boundaries. That's all it was. And then, like I said, now she's not talking to me, and as usual, but now it's like she's like, oh, you messed up on this one. If you don't like your uncle, just cut him off and never talk to him, and claiming that I used him and blah blah blah. So I don't know what to do, y'all. Y'all need to leave me some advice in the comments. I know they're gonna see this video. I ain't lie. The thing is, because let's be for real, when we get into an argument, like I said, I never get a chance to even speak. So they probably don't even know what the real issue is because they never give me a chance to speak. I don't have a voice. And I don't know if it's because I'm a female. I don't know what it is. But my thing is I can remember this all my life. The same thing with my grandmother. It's like I constantly have to walk on eggshells because she's going to get mad at me. Like, there are so many YouTube videos that I have not uploaded because of that. And because of this. Because now they watch my channel. Like I said, there's so many ranting videos and so many people on my Instagram telling me to move out, find a place. This girl just sent me a link to apartments I have it in my DM. She sent me a link. People, family's not always all you have. You know what I'm saying? And this girl was in the phlebotomist program. She don't really know me, but she hears me complaining and crying and talking about ending my life and all this stuff that I really go through that my family doesn't even know, because they don't take the time to even understand. I was told that I was asking for attention when I say I want to end my life, when I'm a person with depression and anxiety, and I have been diagnosed by a psychiatrist. It's on my MyChart. I was diagnosed in 2019. And I had them symptoms from like 2016. I can't make this stuff up. These feelings are how I really feel. Why would I come on here and lie? I have no, what benefit am I getting out of it? Nothing. And it's like, no, I don't want to leave, because this is the only place where I really truly feel safe sometimes, because like issues with like the demons and stuff. But it's like, if I can't be respected in my own home by my own 2 family members I thought I had, why should I stay? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when I was talking to my best friend, I told her about this issue, and she's like, oh yeah, that's just them ignoring your boundaries. So it's not just me that's coming up with this stuff. Like, I promise you, it's just, they just don't understand. And it's like, how many times can one person just beg and beg for you to just respect them? And this is what happens. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn notification bell to know when I post, and share this video with your friends. Please leave me some nice comments or advice in the comment section below, because I really truly need help and I don't know what I should do. And it's not like I really have many places to go, but it's like, I don't know. Well, my life, like I said, is God pointing me in a direction? Is God opening my eyes? You know, like, everything happens for a reason, and God has a plan for me. And I'm starting to think like God is really opening my eyes, and he's like, look, you need to go, and you need to, you know, change how things are going, and demand respect from people. You know, like I said, this is all God, you know what I'm saying? And I'm letting go and I'm letting God. I've been saying that, but I wrote that on my week for my goal of the week. I'm letting go and I'm letting God. Whatever happens this week and whatever plans are made, this is all up to him, because I'm just letting it go. But yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.